Hey Badminton World, welcome to episode 5 of the Tokyo 2020 show, the show for badminton players by badminton players, where we bring you the latest news, results, opinions, predictions and polls and much, much more. My name's Jeff, this is Henry, we're the hosts of the Badminton Podcast and Volant, and we're really excited that the Tokyo 2020 Games has been awesome so far. So Henry, what's been happening? We're in day 4 at the moment. Yeah.
It's been a lot of crazy competition. I mean, I feel like we say this every single time, but crazy competition, things are really heating up. Day 3.5 now. Yesterday, of course, we had Ziying Sweat and Tang Chunman. They won their match. We talked about that match. But what's interesting about that is that Ziying Sweat, this is her 3rd Olympics. But she made a bit of a funny quote stating that Tang Chunman made it into the quarters-finals in his first Olympics. But she's still very happy about that. I think there'll be a quote on screen for you to see as well. Yeah,
it is quite funny because I guess playing so many times and you don't get through and then you finally get through, you find the right partner, for example, but Tang Chunman, first go, good on him. So well done to them. Let's move on to the men's doubles now. So Mohammad Hassan, Hendra Setiawan. We did speak about it yesterday in our do not miss match against Aaron Chia Soiwuyik from Malaysia. I said that potentially the Malaysians were going to win that one, even though their head-to-head was pretty poor beforehand.
Yeah, but you did mention that the Daddies was the safer choice.
Yeah.
And that, of course, Soiwuyik is very prone to errors, and he did make quite a few last night.
Yeah, look, I found that the Daddies were just so solid. Like, even if they were down in the games or losing points, it never felt like they weren't in control of the match. They just too solid, and I think Aaron played really, really well.
Yeah.
He dominated rear court, front court. I think he created a bit more than Soiwuyik.
Yeah.
And I expected So to be a bit more creative in that situation. Yeah.
Because it's normally the other way around, right? And I think we saw him a couple of times try and challenge the net, but
then Hendra is just on
all
it.
over it.
Yeah, completely all over it. So like obviously Hendra and Asan, they're playing really well. They did play together in the Rio 2016 Olympics, and obviously this Olympic Games means so much to them. So we did manage to hear what Hendra and Asan thought about Tokyo 2020 in comparison to 2016 in Rio, and how they think they're going to play their best this time. So let's see it now.
Memang waktu itu kita nggak bisa keluar dari tekanan itu ya. Dan sekarang mungkin kita lebih relax ya. Jadi Indonesia ada 2 men's double, jadi itu otomatis akan mempengaruhi ini ya psikis kita ya. Jadi kalau dua pasang itu lebih baik daripada 1 pasang kalau di Olimpiade.
Saya nggak mau juga terlalu ambisi terlalu berlebih, jadi ya step by step aja. Mungkin targetnya pengen bawa medali ya, tapi nanti di sana juga kita lebih fokus step by step, karena ya dari awal apapun bisa terjadi ya. Mungkin kejadian seperti 2016 ada pair nggak pernah menang sama kita di open sebelumnya, pas di Olimpik kita juga bisa kalah gitu. Ya, saya rasa juga apapun bisa terjadi, jadi kita harus benar-benar persiapkan itu.
So of course we also had them backing it up this morning against Choi and So, who were actually looking a bit more composed compared to when they played the Malaysians the other day. But they did manage to win that in 3 sets, three quite close sets. So it was really good to, I guess, for the Daddies to solidify their position as the top pair in Group D. And I guess they've really taken on all of that experience, the learnings at 2016 when they did lose out in the group stage to both Chai Biao Hongwei as well as Endo and Hayakawa from Japan, exactly. So they did take that learnings on board, and they do definitely seem so solid and so in control.
Yeah. But the rest of Group D there, look, it was a pretty close race between Choi and Seo, and then Chia and So from Malaysia. But it does look like the Malaysians will probably proceed through to knockout rounds, provided that they do beat the Canadians in Hoshu and Yakura later tonight. But speaking of men's doubles, still Group A, Henry, you called it the group of death. But it's been crazy there. So Kevin and Marcus, they'll go through. Even though they did lose to Wang Qilin and Li Yang today.
Yeah, this morning. They literally kept their Olympic dream alive, didn't they?
Yeah, they were going home. If they didn't win that match, they were going home. So excellent result for them. I feel that I was always, during the match, it did feel like Kevin and Marcus, they lost the first, they won the second, but then it did feel like they could switch and change gear. And every time I felt that they were starting to take control, then
trying to get away with the match.
Yeah, right? The Taipei pair were able to come back and play really well. I think that for me personally, I think Wang Qili played really well. Like his attack was brutal,
and
he was following. He was following his attacks to the net, and he was getting through.
And being well supported by Liang as well. Normally very creative, but sometimes makes a few mistakes because he is the one trying to create the opportunities for Wang Qilin. But today he was really on point.
Yep. So good work for them. They've saved their Olympic dreams there. Moving on to injury news, Laura Sorosi from Hungary did have to withdraw from the women's singles, so she won't be able to play Sonia Chia tonight from Malaysia. Sorry. In the lady singles.
And last night, that mixed draw. The knockout mixed draw came out last night.
So if you haven't seen it,
check the screen now. We're going to talk through this, Jeff. So, what do you think?
Look, I think that if we're looking at the draw in itself, like Praveen versus Zheng Siwei, like that's the one where it's like, whoa. That's a hard first quarterfinal match. Of course, they're all hard, right? It's a quarterfinals. But you look at the other points in the draw, and I think Marcus and Lauren, even though the Hong Kong pair of Sian Sweet and Tang Chung Man are very strong, I think that's probably a good pair for them because they do have a good record, right?
Yeah, I think they beat them in 3 sets at the 2020 All England. So going into that match psychologically, I think they will have a slight advantage with the previous win.
So that's a pretty good draw for them.
So it will be a very interesting match, and certainly a good draw for them to hopefully take home the medal.
And then we've got Yuta and Arisa, the Japanese versus Dechapol and Sapsari. And I believe that they're head-to-head 1-love up against the Thai pair as well. Yeah,
they won that, I think, in straight games. And then finally, we've got So Sung Jae, Chae Yu Jung, the 2 left-handers. Interestingly, there's actually 2 pairs with 2 left-handers, and that's the Hong Kong pair and the Korean pair.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, does it?
No, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen very often, but they are playing Wang Yilu, Huang Dongping. That's going to be pretty epic. What do you think? Who we're going to see in the finals?
Finals, I think I've got to say Zheng Siwei is going to make it through. It depends how Praveen can play. Like, I don't think Praveen and Melati have played that well this games. I don't think.
Not so far.
They're going to have to turn it up against them. I think that, probably Zheng Siwei. And I think down the bottom, I think that Yuta and Arisa. Like, I think Arisa's playing really well, and it's going to be, I think they're going to play the Chinese, Wang and Huang, in the semi-final. But I think maybe the Japanese pair in the final.
I would love to see that final, to be honest. I agree, and I hope that those are the 2 pairs that end up in the finals, because that's going to be epic game.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to our guest for today's show. So, today on the show, we have Kęstutis Navikas from Lithuania. Now, for those who don't know him, he was a professional men's singles player. For many years. He played at the 2008 Beijing Olympic Games, and he had a former world ranking of number 37 in men's singles. He was also the coach at the Center for Excellence in Denmark, which is a great center for a lot of singles players. So Kęstutis, we all know that you have been at the Olympic Games yourself, 2008 in Beijing, but you've also played so many other international tournaments. What is the difference between playing in Olympics compared to playing in just a normal international tournament?
Yeah, first of all, the difference is that it's only once per 4 years, and like in Tokyo case, it's once per 5 years. And the difference is that you kind of like feel that you just got that one chance. And some of the players, of course, they play only once, and some of the players, they play twice or 3 times. But at that moment, you feel that's very special. And then you feel the pressure to play your best, because you know that you have only 1 or 2 chances, right? So that pressure is really different. I really feel that the media attention is really different, and you can feel that the whole country behind you is watching you and supporting kind of like you, but at the same time people are expecting from you, so that pressure is definitely a different thing. Those are the main things, and the pressure to perform at your best level because you want to make it as best as you can. Those are the few things that pops out in my head now.
Yeah, I think you made it pretty clear that it is a 1 in 4, or in the case of Tokyo, 1 in 5 chance, and it's hard to balance out that the excitement, the nerves, and all those different things. And as you said, the media is different as well. It is a very different sort of Olympics this time because there are no spectators around. So to have the country, back you, it's a lot different to when you were playing in 2008, Kęstutis. So in terms of, how you think players should best manage those, I guess, expectations or nerves, is it any different to when you're playing in any other tournament?
Yeah, this is probably the main thing, like if I'm the coach or when I was a player, you really have to separate the buzz, the vibe of Olympic Games, and it's very easy to get involved into that buzz. You see all the best athletes around, you see all the best matches, you want to go here and there, but it's really, really important in my mind to separate your own performance and the buzz and the vibe and the whole publicity of what's going around you. Yeah, so in my case, and I also advise to my players, when they go, focus on yourself. It's really, really easy to get involved in all the nice things, but you are there to perform, and really, really stay focused. Have your routines, have your rhythm, go to sleep, go to eat at the same times as you normally do, and just keep it focused as long as you are performing. So yeah, that's one of the most important things. I think that some of the players get involved too much in their in that buzz, and then they lose the rhythm of their performance.
Yeah, I think that excitement at Olympics is definitely huge. But I guess in Tokyo, because there's not much socializing, there's not much stuff you can do outside of your matches. And when you go to the dining hall, it's very restrictive, that maybe this is already, it's helping the players focus more because they don't have the choice to socialize, or they don't have as much choice to get out and meet the other athletes. So speaking of the players that you do coach or you have coached in the past, we know that you were a coach at the Center of Excellence in Denmark, many singles players, men's singles, ladies singles players. Do you have any players at the Olympics in Tokyo now?
Yeah, it's really funny when you look at the draw, you can really feel that the Center of Excellence made a huge impact, right, in the preparation for these players. So yeah, it's interesting to see, because like when I watch now, like Felix Bures said, I've coached him for 3 years, like some other players like Lino Munoz, Artem Pochtrev, Martina Repiska, Matthew Abela. There are just a few players, actually. I'm afraid to forget someone, but a lot of players were in the center longer or shorter, but like some of them were there or are there for 3-4 years, and some of them were coming for camps, and some of them were coming for a few months. So actually a lot of players like Julian Paul, like Iranian girl and Pakistani girl, and Bei Wen Zhang. So like a lot of names. I don't want to mention too many because I'm afraid I'll forget someone, but yes, a lot of names there.
Yeah, I mean, you've definitely mentioned a pretty exhaustive list already. So I'm sure everyone that has been through the Center of Excellence will have brought on, new learnings and experience from there as well, and can feel the support that you are providing them from a distance. Now, Kęstutis, you've been a men's singles player yourself. and a very competitive one at that. And when you're looking at the current men's singles competition at the Olympics, very high caliber, of course, who do you think is going to take home gold?
Yeah, that's a question that we hear like very often these weeks, right, these days. And the tournament have started pretty calm, but now we see that players are gearing up, and some not expected results are coming up, some upsets are coming up. The men's singles category is still, I think, on a pretty calm stage, but now you can feel the tension is coming up. And I feel when I was in Denmark, I was often going to the National Center to see the practice, and I thought that the way Victor was practicing, the way he was improving all the time, I feel that I really want, and I feel that he can take back the title. Of course, we don't know Momoda. How is his preparation? He really hasn't played a lot of tournaments. We don't know the Chinese players, so it's really like interesting and a little bit of a secret, the shape that people are in. But the way I see it, I would like Victor to win. I would like Momoda to be there in the final, because I feel it would be an epic final. And I feel that Ginting might surprise, because the confidence he has started with, I pretty liked it, and he's got the physicality, he's got the speed, he's got the experience, and like most of all, I would say the physicality to go all the way through. And yes, of course, I see that Antonsen might be somewhere there, but let's see how physically confident, how physically fit he is to go like all the way through the whole tournament.
Yep. So 3 main players, I think you've said: Victor Axelsen, Kento Momoda, and Anthony Ginting. So, Kestutis, it was a pleasure speaking to you today, to hear your predictions and get your thoughts. And we hope that your predictions come true. Do we? We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, best regards, guys. We're gonna have a great Olympics, so let's enjoy that.
All right, so Jeff, in terms of do not miss matches, tonight at 8 p.m. local time, we've got Lee So-hee, Shin Sung-chan versus Du Yue and Lee Yin-hui. I think before this morning, we were thinking that this would have been the Koreans' do or die match.
Yeah. What happened, Henry?
Well, we had the Australians?
Aussies?
The Aussies beat the Danish women's doubles pair this morning.
In 3 sets.
Which actually guarantees, gives the Korean pair the opportunity to get back into the game.
Yeah.
So they're going to move on into the knockout rounds, regardless of whether they
win or lose against the Chinese,
right?
Right?
Exactly. So it's no longer a do or die match, but these two pairs are going to be very interesting. It's kind of like a sword and shield fight. So for Korea, it's the two powerhouses. And then you've got Du Yue and Lee Yin-hui, who I think when they defend so forward that they're able to convert defense into attack very quickly as well. That's why sword and shield is what I'm calling this particular match, and I think it's going to be a very interesting one. They do have a 0-3 head-to-head against the Chinese pair, so they have never beaten the Chinese pair. So originally, when it was a do or die match, it's kind of like it's now or never.
Yeah. But yeah, just going back to the Australians versus the Danish, that's actually going to send the Danes home.
Yes.
Which
that's ridiculously
huge.
upsetting.
That's a huge upset by the Australians, and letting the Koreans go through as well. So really interesting match there. Then we go to tomorrow morning session. We have so many good matches there, including of the mixed doubles. The quarterfinals are starting, but let's start with women's singles. 9 a.m. local time. We've got Kim Ga-eun and Yeo Jiamin from Singapore. Now, I saw Jiamin play at the World Championships in 2019 in Basel, Switzerland, and she beat Yamaguchi there. She's a pocket rocket. Like, she's really fast. She can attack really, really well. But world ranking wise, Kim is obviously the one that's got the seeding and is a lot higher in the ranking.
Yeah, and as far as head-to-head's concerned, as you said, yeah, Yeo Jia-min actually has a 3-1 head-to-head against Kim Ga-eun, so she's actually up even though she's not the seed in the group. I think the challenge will be whether Kim Ga-eun can take her on at the front and mid-court, because Jia-min is very fast, but Kim Ga-eun's got the deceptive skills at the front of the court, but she is prone to mistakes as well. So.
Yeah. Who are you going to go with for this one?
I'm going to go Jia-min.
Okay, yeah. I think that's a potential, but I think that she's fast, but I think she can get bullied around the court a little bit. And I think that Kim is quite strong in that way, so I think she might bully her around the court a bit. Not that Jia-min can't keep running and keep up, but I think that pressure could surmount to some errors and potentially some winners from Kim's side. So I'm going to go Kim.
Okay. Yeah, I think I certainly think that Jia-min will, because of her shot quality, sometimes not quite there. I think the bullying aspect that you mentioned with Ga-eun is definitely going to be there. But yeah, I think Jia-min's very good at retrieving, so I'm going to go with Jia-min. Just to recap, on Li and Shin versus Du Yue and Li Yinhui, we didn't cover who you would have thought would win that one.
I'm going to go with the Chinese. I think they're just a little bit too solid. Like, we did see Li and Shin lose to the Danish pair, which we wouldn't expect. That was a big upset. But I think that all the Chinese have just been so solid, rock solid. So I don't see them losing that match. Yeah,
okay, that's fair enough. I think originally it would have been a lot of pressure on the Koreans, but now that the pressure's off, I think it's going to be a very tight match. So I'm actually going to say maybe the Koreans will take this one.
All right. Big call.
And then finally, tomorrow morning again, we've got 10:20 a.m. local or Tokyo time, and that's Zheng Siwei, Huang Yaqiong versus Praveen Jordan and Melati Octavianti. We did talk about that as a pretty brutal first match in the knockout rounds. Interestingly, head-to-head, 7-2. So the Chinese pair are up, but the Praveen and Octavianti have actually won their last 2 meetings, so it's going to be pretty.
That's an interesting one. I think it's just going to really be dictated by Praveen. We've said this before. What Praveen is going to come? Is it going to be that aggressive or the passive one? Is he going to be hitting his shots? Is he going to be making his attack count? Or is he going to be more relaxed and passive? And if he can't get that brutal smash that he's got into the game, I think they're going to struggle.
It'll be a very tricky one. I think what we've seen so far of Praveen and Melati, I don't think they're going to measure up, but personally, I'm going for Zheng Siwei and Huang Yaqiong.
Okay, I probably think the same, even though I would like to see Praveen play better, because I really enjoy watching him play with his skill, and both of them, Melati as well in their skill. So I'm going to go the Chinese as well, but hoping for a really good match.
We're hoping to see Praveen, the top level Praveen that we've seen in the past. And Melati, of course.
All right, so let's go to what everyone thought about who has the best technique in women's singles. So we did have a few options there, but it is Tai Tzu Ying who has won this. We both thought it was Tai Tzu Ying.
No, actually, you thought it was Tai Tzu Ying.
You said it was Ratchanok, sorry. Yes, but she's come through at 81%, so it's been a pretty huge dominance from Tai Tzu Ying in terms of her technique.
Yeah, so I guess well done to Tai Tzu Ying. Great technique. In terms of the next question for you guys, which men's doubles player is this?
So a bit of a secret sound.
Yeah.
Listen to this. So we do have 4 options for who makes this sound on court. So we have 4 options there. We've got Marcus Fernaldi Gideon, we've got Aaron Chow, we've got Anders Rasmussen from Denmark, and last we've got Kigo Tsunoda from Japan. So who do you think it is? Make sure you comment below.
All right, so now we come to raise a racket. Who are you raising a racket for today, Jeff? Or who are we raising a racket for?
Look, I think it goes to say Li Yang and Wang Qilin. Look, they have saved their Olympic dream by beating Marcus and Kevin just this morning in an epic, awesome match, 3 sets. So tribute to them, well done. You've saved your Olympic journey. We raise a racket to you both.
All the best. So, we're wrapping up this episode now, episode 5 of the Tokyo 2020 show. For those of you wanting and dying to watch the live coverage or just getting updates in general, make sure you check out the screen now, which is where you'll see the match center, you'll see the live blog and the URL to where you can find your local broadcast coverage where you are, whichever country you're in.
And we do have the order of play to show you. And so that's going to be popping up on the screen right now to check out which matches that you want to tune into.
Yep, and so that will start at 6 p.m. tonight and 9 a.m. 9 a.m. is a little bit different, 9 a.m. tomorrow. All right, so thanks everyone for tuning into episode 5 of the Tokyo 2020 show. We hope you're enjoying the Olympic Games as much as we are. There's so many great games and everything is starting to heat up. So look, we'll keep you updated. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, similar time, and we'll see you then.
Bye, see you tomorrow.